You have probably heard it, lift for a month and nothing changes. But what really happens inside beginner muscles in just 30 days? You feel soft, easily tired, maybe a bit frustrated with how long real change seems to take. But if you actually follow a simple beginner plan for 30 days, your muscles and nervous system start rewriting themselves. Tonight we are treating your body like a lab. Every set you lift is a tiny experiment in biology. Our cast: muscle fibers, motor neurons, growth pathways like mTOR, satellite cells, protein synthesis. And your metabolism. At first, most of your progress is neural beta coordination. Actual muscle growth lags behind but is already being prepared. Inside your body, a command center balances stress and repair. Damage the fibers just enough, then rebuild stronger. As a beginner, even light weights feel clumsy and heavy. That awkwardness is your nervous system waking up. The soreness you dread, DOMS, is not your muscle tearing apart, but a signal that repair chemistry is being switched on. Over 30 days, those spikes of stress and repair start stacking into measurable strength and subtle visual changes. In the next 20 minutes, you will see how beginner lifting rewires your nerves, your fibers, your soreness, and your metabolism. Because the real question is not just will I grow, it is a month enough to matter? We will run two parallel futures, one where the barbell gathers dust, and one where you actually show up. By the end, I want you to know exactly what 30 days of lifting can and cannot do for your beginner body down to the fibers. Day 1, you stop only thinking about training and actually walk into a gym or pick up dumbbells at home. Weights look heavier than you remember, and everyone else seems to know exactly what they are doing. Your first sets are shaky. Your brain and muscles are trying to agree on who does what and when. Under the surface, motor units that have been half asleep are getting a loud wake-up call. You leave feeling pumped, a little proud, and a little terrified of how your muscles will feel tomorrow. In the hours after training, your muscles quietly turn on protein synthesis, using amino acids to patch microscopic damage. In beginners, the repair signal can stay elevated for a day or two longer than in advanced lifters. Most of the real building happens off the gym floor while you are resting, and especially while you sleep. Next morning, delayed onset muscle soreness DOMS makes stairs feel like a special level of game difficulty. DOMS is not your muscles tearing apart. It is controlled microdamage and inflammation as tissues adapt. On your rest day, soreness peaks. Your fibers are rebuilding scaffolding to handle the same stress better next time. By workout 2, your nervous system already coordinates the movement a bit better, even if the weight has not changed. Beginners gain strength quickly at first, mostly because their brain learns to recruit muscle fibers more efficiently. Week 1 is all about shock, soreness, and steep learning curves for both technique and your internal chemistry. What you feed your muscles now matters. Protein is the raw material for all that new scaffolding. You do not need bodybuilder extremes, but you do need enough protein for the repair you are requesting. By the end of week 1, the gym feels less alien. Your body knows what is coming, even if it still complains. You do not see much in the mirror yet, because early gains hide in your wiring more than in your shirt sleeves. Hypertrophy is a slower storyline. Week 1 is mostly introductions and foreshadowing. Now we zoom into the real conflict, how your muscles, nerves, and metabolism negotiate this new 30-day contract. By week 2, your internal command center sees a clear pattern: repeated stress, repeated repair bills. You start nudging the weight up. Small increases tell your body this workload is not a one-time mistake. Mechanical tension and microdamage trigger pathways like mTOR, which tell the cell, build more contractile protein. Soreness alone does not equal growth. There is a difference between useful stress and actual injury. You learn to distinguish good sore but usable from bad pain, a crucial beginner skill. Neurally, your brain stops wasting effort and jitters. It coordinates firing patterns more cleanly. That is why strength jumps faster than visible size in the first month. Lifting also nudges up your daily energy burn during the session and slightly afterward. Muscles start behaving like fuel-hungry sponges, emptying and refilling glycogen stores with each session. On training days, synthesis spikes highest. On rest days it stays above baseline, finishing the rebuild. The real conflict is not just in your fibers. It is between your new training habit and everyday life. Without reasonable sleep and protein, your body receives a garbled version of your training request. Too much too soon can overwhelm your nervous system, especially if stress and lack of sleep pile on top. Your ego wants big plates. Your joints and nervous system want good form and repeatable reps. After each workout, you get a limited window of boosted synthesis. Every decent protein meal is a building block. Skipping a session does not erase your progress, but a pattern of "I will start tomorrow" absolutely does. By weeks 2 to 3, you feel more capable in random daily tasks, an early sign your system is adapting. Soreness often becomes less dramatic as your muscles and nervous system learn this new routine. Expectations from social media say dramatic body change. Biology gives you quieter but very real beginner gains. By using large muscle groups, your body usually becomes more insulin sensitive, handling carbs more gracefully. The scale may not move much, while your body quietly trades a bit of fat for denser muscle. Weight training is not just cosmetic. Your heart and blood vessels also adapt to the new demands. You may start to crave the post-workout feeling, part chemistry, part pride, in doing something objectively hard. Signals like myostatin act as brakes on growth. Regular training gently eases those brakes off. There is a line between productive fatigue and overdoing it. Beginners often need reminding to respect that line. Halfway through, the simple act of not quitting is already a rare thing in a world of abandoned plans. Tendons and joints remodel more slowly than muscle. That is another reason to progress gradually. Over these weeks, your nervous system learns to fire the right fibers at the right time, wasting less energy. Confidence is part neural adaptation too. Your brain stops treating the gym as foreign territory. More active muscle mass slightly raises your resting metabolism. It is not magic, but it is meaningful over time. Even in the first month, progress can have mini plateaus. That is normal, not a sign your body is not built for this. Some days, psychological friction is heavier than any dumbbell. These choices shape the rest of your month. Showing up and doing an imperfect workout still sends your muscles a clear "stay strong" signal. By week 3, your command center sees that this is no longer a random event. It is your new normal, at least for now. You might not look like a fitness ad, but clothes fit differently, and you feel more solid in your own body. Posture, fullness, the way you stand, these are early signs of adaptation long before dramatic photos. The real conflict now is between your old story about your body and the new evidence you are collecting. To see how much these 30 days can matter, we need to zoom in on each of these systems. Think of them as characters in your training movie, each one reacting to the weights in a different way. Let us put the command as center into deep dive mode and see what these 30 days really set in motion. We will move system by system through what beginner lifting actually changes. Muscle growth responds to 3 main ingredients: tension, controlled microdamage, and metabolic stress. Satellite cells act like local stem cells, fusing into fibers and giving them more nuclei to handle new protein production. In beginners, the hypertrophy curve starts to be measurable within weeks, even if it is modest. The pump you see in the mirror right after training is temporary fluid shift, not permanent growth. Yet, both contractile proteins and the background fluid and enzymes can expand with repeated training. Your nervous system adapts by recruiting more fibers, firing them faster, and coordinating them better. By the end of your first month, the same weight feels lighter, because more fibers are pulling together. Your body also reduces unnecessary tension in opposing muscles, making movements more efficient. DOMS is highest when a movement is new. As patterns become familiar, soreness usually calms down. Chasing soreness is a poor goal. Consistent overload and solid technique matter far more. Inflammation rises briefly to clean up and repair, then should resolve. Training is micro-controlled injury with built-in healing. Whether you grow depends on the balance between how much you build and how much you break down. Protein-rich meals, especially those containing leucine, act like on switches for synthesis after training. The famous anabolic window is wider than most think. Total daily protein matters more than a single shake deadline. Trained muscle soaks up more glucose, easing load on your liver and fat tissue. Muscle is not a calorie furnace, but it is more metabolically active than fat. A bit more muscle nudges your baseline up. Strength training is a powerful signal for cells to respond better to insulin. Even in a month, patterns of training can tilt blood lipids and blood pressure in a healthier direction, especially from a sedentary baseline. Lifting weights does not just grow muscle, it changes brain chemistry, often improving mood and stress resilience. Your body often rewards lifting with deeper sleep, if you do not sabotage it with screens and stimulants late at night. Beginners are oddly privileged. Your body is hypersensitive to training. Almost everything works if you are consistent. Genetics and lifestyle modulate the curve. Not everyone gains at the same visible speed. In 30 days, expect clear strength gains, better control, and subtle size changes, not a movie montage transformation. But compared to doing nothing, those same 30 days become a massive fork in the road. In clinic, we see busy people move from everything feels heavy to daily life is easier in a single month. Strength training can reshape how your body handles sugar, even if the scale hardly changes. Beginner gains are a package deal: physical, metabolic, and psychological. The trap is treating day 30 as the finish line. Biology treats it as the end of season 1. If you stop completely, your body slowly unwinds those adaptations just as quickly as it built them. The sequel you choose, keep going or stop, matters more than what supplements you bought. Your genes and identity stories are not as fixed as you think. Your muscles respond to loading, not labels. Your body is loyal to your habits, not your intentions. When you lift, you are not just training muscle, you are upgrading the whole network. From this seat, you are not a passive passenger. You are the one person who can steer these curves. The earliest wins are in how you feel and perform. The mirror is often the last to catch up. A second month can build strongly on this foundation if you treat month 1 as the warm-up, not the whole story. So we have seen what 30 beginner days do to hypertrophy signaling, your nerves, soreness, protein use and metabolism. It is not enough to reach your genetic ceiling, but it is more than enough to change the trajectory. Every system we have touched, muscle, nerves, sugar, mood, has a two-way arrow that responds to training. Now let us turn this into a simple, realistic plan for your own first 30 days under the bar. For most beginners, 2 to 3 full-body strength sessions per week is the sweet spot. Each session can be simple: 1 movement for legs, 1 push, 1 pull, 1 core pattern. Progressive overload means gradually adding weight, reps or control, not destroying yourself every workout. A few minutes of movement prep protects your joints and makes heavy sets feel smoother. Aim for sets that feel hard, but leave 1 or 2 decent reps in the tank, especially in month 1. Accept some muscle soreness, but never ignore sharp joint pain or anything that feels wrong on the way up. A simple pattern: 3 strength days per week, with light walking and normal life filling the gaps. Try to include a decent protein source at each meal. Your muscles are placing frequent orders this month. Sleep is your cheapest recovery tool. Skimp on it and you sabotage your own gains. Let training volume ramp up gradually. Beginners do not need advanced lifter workloads to grow. Track a handful of basic numbers: what you lifted, how it felt, how you slept. not every gram of food. Identity statements help you act like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. When you miss a session, do not panic or double up dangerously. Just do the next one and keep the pattern going. Rituals before and after training tell your brain this is what we do now. The only comparison that matters this month is you versus last week's you. Your numbers and how your body feels can improve far more in 30 days than most people ever test. Brutal programs you abandon are inferior to moderate programs you actually finish. 30 days of beginner lifting will not turn you into a bodybuilder. It will turn you into someone more capable. The biggest wins may be off camera, easier travel, fewer aches, more energy for people and projects you care about. As a physician, my core advice is simple. Some form of resistance training belongs in almost every adult's life. You are not just training for this month. You are training your future self to move through life with less friction. Future you either thanks you every time they stand up, or wishes you had started sooner. You do not need a perfect life or schedule. You just need enough honesty to carve out a few non-negotiable sessions. Let your reward at the end of the day be genuine rest on a body that actually did something. Give it 30 honest days and I lift can become part of your default, not a special challenge. In one breath, beginner lifting rewires your nerves, signals your muscles to grow, and teaches your body to use fuel better. Where you sit on this ladder, never lifting or lifting a few times a week shapes your future more than any single workout. You have seen 30 days from the inside, the soreness, the signals, the rebuild, and the quiet metabolic upgrades. This is not about punishment. It is about leverage, using weights as a tool to negotiate better terms with your own biology. Next time you want to skip, remember, your future self never regrets the workout you actually did. Your next 30 days are blank. You can replay the no lifting timeline or test what happens when you do not. My professional challenge: give your muscles 30 days of respectful strength training. Then listen carefully to how your body answers. If this helped you see beginner lifting differently, hit like, subscribe, and stay for more science told like a movie, not a lecture. Share this with the friend who swears they are just weak. Their muscle fibers have not actually heard a fair argument yet. Now it is your turn. If you designed your next 30 days on purpose, how often would you really let your muscles show up for you?